obviously 1999 was a long time ago when I first opened it, but right now what I'm keen to do is to be able to afford to retire and to give myself a decent income in my retirement. So I have always been very concerned that I would be able to have sufficient income when I retired. I guess I was always very aware that by the time I reached retirement age, it would be doubtful whether there would even be a state pension, to be honest. So from a very young age, I've saved. From the age of 23, basically, I saved into a pension. And I always saw the ISA alongside as another form of saving towards my aim of being able to retire early. So my approach is probably quite speculative, especially in the early days, because I was quite prepared to lose everything. I understood that when you invested, you potentially could lose everything that you invested. I think over time and with what I've learnt is the importance of diversification. So once my portfolio was of a sufficient size, I would actually then look to make sure that I had diversification across industries, across geographies, and I tended to probably at that point invest probably more in funds than directly in shares. But very much looking at the construction of the overall portfolio rather than individual companies. That's really evolved as the portfolio has grown. In terms of making individual investment decisions, sometimes it's because I thought the industry looked interesting. I thought it was something that would grow in the future. That's what I was looking for at the time. Sometimes if I was looking for income, I might look at typically perhaps more stable industries, but ones which paid a good dividend. So it would really depend. I was really trying to go for diversification. That's one thing I have learned. So previously it would be as and when I'd built up a sufficient cash amount for saving. So, typically I would probably do it in parcels of £5,000, say. So if I'd saved that amount, or if I'd had a bonus from work, or something had happened in my life that meant that I had this amount of cash, I would tend to use up that pool. So I couldn't say it was a regular monthly investment because I didn't follow that. I think the one thing I did hold firm on is that even when markets were going down, I continued to invest because, again, I had the benefit of being able to wait for a long time before I needed the money. So I tried to invest when the prices were low as well. But I do still obviously keep both of them open. I no longer contribute into my SIP. And to be honest, the way in which I use my stocks and shares ISA has changed as I've approached retirement. I found it quite exciting, to be honest. I found it exciting doing the research, finding a company, and quite often they didn't necessarily work out. But I had a confidence in being able to invest, that's for sure. I probably would steer more towards funds now than direct individual company investing, though. I just feel I don't have the dedicated effort to follow these companies in sufficient detail, and I'd rather pay somebody else to do that for me, really. So in terms of using Isabelle, and we have been with you for quite a long time, I find it very straightforward to use. Most things you can do online. I think you've improved your platform continuously. So in terms of being able to research either existing holdings or potential holdings, it's become easier. I certainly enjoy using your fund screening service because that to me, there's so many funds available, it helps you to just narrow down your choices. So I think it works very well. When I have had to deal, and if I've had to phone up to deal, it's always been very efficient and very quick. So generally, I found it a very good service.